Hello, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage. What we're going to do today, we're going to solder those castle connectors at 6.5 millimeter. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. We're going to hook it up on a battery, and then I'm going to show how to solder a new connector into a motor, to a brushless motor. A lot of people asking how to do the right soldering. I have everything here, and I'm going to show how to do it in the safest way that I know. So let's start. Let's put a little bit more light over here. I have a messy table because I usually don't shoot video on this table. Let's start. So to start, I set up my soldering gun to the highest temperature. You're gonna have to have this cleaning bowl. It's usually just like metal wool kind of material that will clean the tip. The tip must be clean to get a good connection. Usually you have to make sure everything is tied good, so it's gonna have the best connection possible. And this is kind of boiling right now. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make the female connectors and put them into the battery. I'm gonna show how to cut and prep the battery before you can do that. You cannot not just solder into this. You're gonna have to prep them. You're gonna have to put flax in them. It's flax resin in order for them to be kind of pretty sticky, and I'm gonna show the entire process. So you're gonna have to put this together with those with a wire. You don't really need any shrink wrap. Now we have the batteries. They set up with a different connector. They are set up with XT90. I'm gonna cut those, and I want to show something very important. I know some people will say, oh, what is he doing? You never cut both lines at the same time. Don't ever try to do that. It's a LiPo batteries. They're very strong. They're gonna short on you and actually can catch fire and short and give you a good zest of electricity. What you want to do is cut them, separate them away, and cut them each one at the time, okay? And then you're gonna flip it away, and you measure the same height, and you saw it's touch and short, okay? This is very important. Move it away, then cut it, okay? So if those two touch right now, it's gonna short on you. Be careful. Now those two edges right now, we need to prep them. Before I do that, I'm just gonna toss this here on top, just so it's not gonna short while I'm stripping this. Now you can use a stripper. I'm gonna show you guys a method to people that don't have a stripper at home. You just take an X-Acto blade and gently turn it and remove a very thin layer. This way you're not removing any of those thin wires. And then I like to give it a twist, and now it is ready. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna dip it first in a little bit resin. What the resin going to do, it's gonna suck in all the soldering material. Now you can use one of those devices to hold the wires. If you don't have it, you can use a needle nose plier to hold it, or you can use one of the vice grip. Those will work very good, and I'm going to show in a second how. Now so far we are not going to solder anything to it. We're just prepping it. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our soldering material, and I'm going to prep a little bit the soldering gun, and I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to add more, and let it heat up, and it will just suck everything into the wire. You're going to see in a second it's not hot as I want it to be, but in a second you're going to see that it's going to start sucking it in. The material is start disappearing. See, I can touch and add more, and it's primed in, and right now this thing is kind of ready for what I want it to do. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and that's it. This is ready. Now we're not going to use this yet. What we're going to do, we're going to do the same in the other side. So right now make sure that this is cold enough so you're not putting the shrink and the shrink going to close on it. I have another shrink ready. I'm just gonna put it in, move it away. We did this so it's not gonna short again. Okay, I was shorting it earlier so to show it to you, but try not to cause any shorts. We're gonna cut the edges, okay, very gently, go in a circle around it, just removing a very small chunk. Okay, that's it. So all you need to move, and then you're gonna twist it so nothing gonna go loose. And you take your resin, and you can do that with a stick. I just like to dip it in so the tip is kind of getting dirty. Okay, and we're gonna repeat this. I'm gonna clean this. You see, this is right now very dirty. Put it in, and it's silver again, so it means that it's ready to go, and you're gonna get the best contact. Okay, I'm gonna put some material on it and drop it in. When you put a little bit more material, it's gonna get warmer and it's gonna work faster. You see right now, that's it, it's primed, it's done. I go in on the bottom, go over the bottom, just make sure that I burn off all the extra resin. And I want to add a little bit more. And that's it, it's ready to go. Now, I'm gonna clean it up so I'm not gonna forget. Now, here's the fun parts. You have those plugs, they write on it here, parts for the battery and the ESC, and you have a negative, positive. Don't forget, negative, it's a small minus, is the black. Positive, going to be your red. Okay, we're gonna start here right now with the red. The red is the positive. So what we have to do is run it through. Okay, we're going to run it through first. Make sure positive is on the red. Okay, and now we're gonna have to grab this, and I'm gonna show you guys a trick. If you have those clamps, do that from the inside out. This way it's not gonna move so much. Make sure it's locked. Right now it's gonna be perfect. And what you want to do is, when it's ready and hot, you just dip it in and it will just stay there. We're gonna fill it up. We're gonna fill this in up with the lead, and we're just gonna drop this thing in. I'm gonna hold it, of course, with a needle nose plier. It's a little bit higher, but it's not a big deal. I can just lift it. It's not gonna break or anything. Before we do that, I would like to put here a little bit of the resin. So let's do that. And again, this is what I do. I just take a little bit. It just helps everything to stick much better. Now, so here is the tricky part. This needs to stay a boil in order to accept that. At the same time, you don't want this thing to be overflowing and pouring lead everywhere. It's very hard to clean later. So what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna release some lead. Let's see, this way you can see. And we put the gun all the way through. And we're gonna let it heat up. I'm trying to look at the camera to see that you guys seeing it. At the same time, now it's kind of boiling over there. I can see it bubbling. I want it to be as warm as possible, so when I remove the gun, it will just be able to stick. We're grabbing our leads. I put it near it and I put it inside. And I like to put right now the soldering gun from the side one more time, just to make sure everything is boiling hot and melted together. Okay, I maybe blocked it a little bit. I will see later. Okay, right now this is plugged inside. I'm gonna release it. Oh, it's hot. And I'm gonna give it a second to actually cool down, and then I'm gonna try to pull it to see if this is connected strong enough. The soldering need to be shiny. When the soldering is shiny, you know that it's actually set up the right way. If it's not as shiny, if it's gonna be dull, it's not gonna be as strong. So this looks so far pretty good. Let's see. Still very hot. So I'm gonna use my vice grip. I'm not gonna clamp it strong on it. I just gently clamp it and try to pull it, and it is very strong. Very strong. It means that it's perfect like I wanted it to be. Now you have to put it in here. And this is a little bit tricky part because those things need to get pushed in. Usually what you're gonna do, you're gonna heat this part up, and you're gonna heat it up with a heat gun, and then it will just snap in. I will try to push it right now. Since this is very hot, it's maybe gonna soften it a little bit. Let's see. And yeah, it's got in, but it's not got in yet as strong as I want it to be. There is another part that's gonna sit later on top of it, and I really do not want it to short. So this part gonna sit on top and close it. Actually gonna go this way, so this need to fit inside. Okay, so I zoom in a little bit so you can see. So now we need to put this deeper in. So what I did, I put a glove so for the heat, and I'm gonna heat it up with a heat gun, not to melt it, just so it's gonna be soft enough so we can push it in. And we're just gonna use a screwdriver to push it in. Okay, it should be warm enough. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a screwdriver that can just fit in, and that's it. It clicked in. Now it's inside and it's safe, and now we can go for the next one. Now, since we're already right now set up over here with the zoom, I'm gonna do this one closer so people can actually see it easier. We're gonna expose this. We're gonna move it through. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna start the process all over again. So we got here, we're gonna put a little bit of flex on it. Grab it right there so you guys can see easily. I have my needle nose ready. And again, negative black. Let's fill it up with the soldering iron. We have to open some more, clean the tip. We heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, and just replace the two and add a little bit more heat now, just to make sure everything is 100% melted in. And clean it, and it's in. It's not coming out. I'm gonna give it a second to cool down, and then we're gonna try to pull it and see how strong it is. I'm gonna use actually a stronger plier to pull it, and it's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. We can loosen it up, and now we have to repeat what we did earlier. I'm just gonna inspect it. It's nice and shiny, and it's pretty strong inside. They're gonna go through the inside. I'm gonna try to push it because it's boiling hot without doing anything. Let's see. Nope, you need to heat it up. Please use gloves when you heat it up. You heat it up with a hot gun, with a heat gun, and it will be very warm and it can burn your hands. Let's heat it up a little bit. Just gently warm the entire thing out. And you push it in. That's it. It snapped in and it is ready. It is ready and safe. You can pull it out and it's not gonna break. You don't have any exposed wire on the back. This is very important, okay? So this is how you do that simply. This is for the lithium battery, and I'm gonna show right now another video how to do I'm changing the bullet connector from 6mm to 8mm on a Poseidon motor, so stay tuned. I'm doing it right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna change the bullet connector on the Poseidon motor, And we're gonna put like a for castle creation, so we're gonna remove the one that came with it, and I'm gonna try first. I don't want to cut the wires, so what I'm gonna try to do is grab them, heat it up, and see if I can melt the factory soldering. Sometimes it's not really doable, but let's see if it's gonna work this time. What I'm doing, I'm just pushing it very deep in, trying to cause the entire wire to get hot, and then hopefully it's gonna pull itself out. The other method is actually to put the soldering from inside and land it back, and just let it the entire thing overheat, and you just pull it back out. Let's see if it's give anything right now. I hate to do stuff like that. No, it's pretty solid inside. So we're gonna try another method. Okay, I'm gonna try another method. It's a little bit more dangerous, but it's working in 2 seconds. Okay, so I have a small torch. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put a lot of heat on this. It's not a method that you always want to do. It's just time consuming, and when you know what you're doing, it will be pretty easy. I'm gonna lower the fire. And 2 seconds. It took exactly 2 seconds to do that. Let's do the rest. I can actually need to strip them. So let's do this real quick. This was I removed one really quick. I haven't exposed the two other one yet. I will just remove the shrink from it. And yes, there is a different method to do that. I'm trying to do the most efficient way. This is a little bit hot because we just used fire on it. I'm gonna grab this, and this can go here so it's not gonna fall on me. That's it. And we're gonna do one more. Sometimes I wonder what type of lead they're using in China. That's it. Okay, this is ready. I'm gonna prep it and come back. So what we're doing now, we're gonna put those 8mm connector instead of the 6. So everything gonna work a little bit better and will be safer with a big castle creation motor. This thing have holes in both sides of it, so you can fit those in and just it's gonna grab right through. So we're gonna do it very simple. Okay, so let's start soldering this. Now this is going to be a little bit harder to do because they have those holes inside that the lead's gonna fall out from. So I'm gonna try to float it just a little bit and see how it's gonna work. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna slide this in together. Now it starts catching in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add leads from the small hole that there is over there. There's a tiny hole over here, and I can actually add more lead from it. So let's do this real quick. This is pretty warm. So see, there is a hole over here, and this is pretty big, so we need to fill it up completely. No, did not catch, you see? This is one of the problems that you can expect when you do something that big. So we're going to do that all over again. This means that it needs much more lead over here. And I'm not going to cut this video and just make it like if it's everything work right, because usually those things don't work right. Usually when you're soldering, there's always a small problem that you're going to have to deal with. So you really want to see how real world stuff working, not some edit video that like, oh yeah, just put it in and it's fit. So now this is boiling hot, and again I'm gonna put it in and see, it should catch a little bit better because it's have much more material in it right now. And the part is so big that it's kind of really even hard to estimate like when it's gonna set. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, now we're talking. Now it's completely full. The part is completely full. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's solid solder, and it did not get too dirty. I don't have soldering iron all over the place. I'm gonna do another one just to show the method again. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put a little bit resin on top of the soldering iron and just make it a little bit dirty inside. Like this, I know for sure it's gonna work. I'm gonna fill it up completely. And this taking a lot of lead. I almost out of this thing. I have an entire tube almost inside already. This is going to be number 2. And you have to hold it. If you're going to pull it back out right away, it's maybe not going to grab. So right now I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to inspect that this hole got shot and this hole got shot with the lead, and the back is full, so I know that it's going to be as strong as possible. Give it a couple pulls. Yeah, not strong enough. This need to be done again. And again, those things are so big, and it's need a humongous amount of heat. If it's not hot enough, it's just not working. Let me fix this real quick. It was looking good, the edges, but what happened is the lead came out of the holes. The lead came out of the 2 holes left and right, but it did not actually caught anything. Put some more flex in it, and that's it. Put it in and let it do the work for itself. I see that it's moving a little bit, and I don't think it's gonna be strong enough yet. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna inspect it again. It looks strong, but I need to pull it and see that it is. Let's first check the first one. First one is strong, second one is good, and let's do the third one. And then what I'm gonna go do after I finish the last one, I'm gonna go over again, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some more leads on the edges of those, so it's not gonna be able to slide back out. Gonna put a little bit flex on it again. Again, this thing taking a lot of leads because it's so big. I'm gonna dip it inside, and we have to hold until it's gonna be completely dry. Actually, it's gonna be completely cooled. These feel very good. It's actually, I can move it, it's not coming out. Okay, and now what I want to do is fill up those holes with lead as well. So I have to set it up so this is not going to move. Just going to put it actually on top of that. This is not going to roll off the table. Okay, so now they're all solid. I made it a little bit dirty. I can clean it up a little bit. And now we have the new 8mm billet connector set up. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share the video. Arik at RC Monster Garage MotoStyle Shop. See you in my next video.